Era do canal Futebol chegando aí para falar para vocês de uma entrevista muito boa do John Textor que ele deu para CNN Sports, hein? A CNN Sports aí falando sobre futebol, falando sobre o que, galera? O famoso Fair Play Financeiro, que hoje no Brasil é o que mais se fala, né? Mas por quê? Porque o time do John Textor tem ganhado tudo, né? Ganhou o Brasileiro, ganhou a Libertadores, e isso tem acordado um fantasma, né? O tal do chamado Fair Play Financeiro. Mas será mesmo que o Botafogo era lá antes de John Textor chegar, um mês depois que implantou a SAF, um time a ser batido? Hoje sim, mas quando o John Textor comprou, ninguém sabia o que ia virar esse time, tá? Comprou ali tentando reformular o clube, mas chegou no que chegou aí, campeão de Libertadores. Amanhã inclusive vai jogar contra o Pachuca no Intercontinental. Pega o Pachuca primeiro e o Real já está na final. É meio desequilibrado, vocês sabem, essa Intercontinental. Hoje ficou pior ainda, né? Tem que algumas etapas serem vencidas para os clubes sul-americanos, centro-americanos e do norte, né? E tanto aí dos asiáticos também. Então vamos ver aí o vídeo, né, falando sobre o Fair Play Financeiro da CNN. É isso aí, valeu, galera. Fica no Futebol História.
Outro assunto polêmico, fair play financeiro. Depois que o Botafogo começou a ganhar, muito começou a se falar do fair play financeiro. Você entende que isso é justo? Porque muitos times que ganhavam não falavam de fair play financeiro. Agora que o Botafogo está ganhando, começaram a falar desse fair play financeiro. Como é que você analisa essa situação? Isso é importante para o futebol brasileiro? Não é? Está havendo algum tipo de exagero pelo fato do Botafogo ter se organizado e estar vencendo? De uma maneira geral, como é que você avalia essa questão do fair play financeiro que passou a ser muito comentada após o crescimento do Botafogo?
Obviously, we think it's funny. I mean, we're enjoying the conversation. I'm not too worried about it because if you're going to talk about financial fair play, you should really talk about it accurately. We inherited a club that in 2021 did about 21 million US dollars in revenue. We bought it in March of 2022. That year, we did about 30 million US in revenue. In 2024, because we're in December, the year's almost up, we're going to do about 100 million US dollars in revenue. So we've increased revenue by 5 times, which means that our salary level is about 45% of our revenue. Now, in Europe, financial fair play, they want you to spend 75% or less of your revenue. Well, at 45%, we're well below the thresholds of affordability. So they can't talk about financial fair play with us. In terms of buying these players, the reason they're saying this is because we're setting records for nobody's ever paid as much as somebody did for Thiago Almada or Luis Henrique. Well, that's true, but that's only because we're reversing the direction of player migration. Brazil has always been sending its best players away. We see big numbers when Endrick sells or when, João Gomes sells. We very rarely see a club buying the rights to a player based on their global value, what they would be worth in Europe, and saying, come back and play in Brazil. Well, we spent 25 million US dollars on Thiago Almada. That's not even a large amount by European standards. We spent 20 million, a bit less on Luis Henrique. That's not a large amount in Europe. So are they upset that we value Brazil so much that Brazilian fans deserve to see the best athletes in the world getting on a plane and flying back to South America? I'm paying a small amount of money to buy these young, talented athletes. I know if I pay 20 million for Luis Henrique, I bring him back to Brazil, he gets on the national team, he might be worth 30 or 40. So that's good financial management. That's not violation of financial fair play. Why do Brazilians think that a team should not acquire a top athlete at a European price and bring them back to Brazil to play for Brazilians? That's nonsense. So what are we all saying to each other? That we should have the low budget here and the high budget gets to be for the enjoyment of the people in Europe? I think we should enjoy football here. So financial fair play, we're well within the rules. And when the big clubs start getting beat by the small clubs, well, then they say, let's change the rules. Well, you know, that's what I said before. Get used to it. We're the glorious. We're the most traditional. We're here to stay.